All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Been gone for a while, but just wanted to make my video reacting to the Micah Parsons trade and kind of just give my 2 cents on it and why I think it's a good trade, or at least a solid trade by the Cowboys.
And what more can you tell us?
Kevin, this is a huge, mammoth-sized blockbuster trade that just went down within the last hour. The Dallas Cowboys are trading Micah Parsons, a four-time Pro Bowl selection who's had over 12 sacks in each of his first 4 seasons, to the Green Bay Packers in exchange for 2 first-round draft picks and defensive tackle Kenny Clark. The deal has been made. Micah Parsons is being paid in Green Bay. Week 4 of the season, we have the Cowboys versus the Green Bay Packers, and the Dallas Mavericks made one of the big blockbuster trades in the NBA back in February, only to be followed up by the Dallas Cowboys in August, trading away another young cornerstone piece that they had made no progress on with a new contract, that there were no negotiations in recent months. Jerry Jones was disappointed in the fact that he felt like he had an agreement in late March with Micah Parsons that would pay him $40.5 million a year on average. The two sides never negotiated after that. Micah Parsons never practiced this summer. He had back tightness that he went to get a second opinion on in California, and there were people who said that Micah Parsons didn't have leverage, but his agent David Milgetta did have leverage. He had the leverage of Parsons' talents in talking to other teams, and the Packers were highly interested all along, so much so that they were willing to pay him more than any other non-quarterback in NFL history ever has been made. And we have another blockbuster trade 1 week from when the Dallas Cowboys will be playing the Philadelphia Eagles 1 week from tonight on Thursday Night Football. There is a trade that has sent ripples across the National Football League.
Yeah, so obviously the news is already a few days old, so most of y'all know that this happened. Most of you have seen this video or read just the details on the trade, right? But I think it's a good trade just because Kenny Clark is not a scrub. He's actually a really good player. He's a 3-time Pro Bowl player. He has potential to be an All-Pro player. You never know, he could have an All-Pro season with the Dallas Cowboys. And this is coming from a Commanders fan. The reason I wanted to make a video is because I saw a lot of people, Commanders fans, make their reactions to the trade and saying, "Thank you, Jerry," and this is, Cowboys are sorry, they suck ass, they're trash, this and that, right? Trashing just the trade and trashing Jerry Jones. But I think just because I've heard and I've seen Kenny Clark play, I've heard, the name Kenny Clark. I've seen Kenny Clark play in some of the games that are on TV whenever, there's not Commanders games on, sorry. I watch the game and I see, some of the Packers games, and Kenny Clark flashes off the TV. He makes plays. He's known around the NFL. And 2 first-round picks is not bad. You get 2 first-round picks. All right, you get 2 more opportunities to try to hit big on big-time players like, and Jerry Jones said this at his press conference after the trade, which I like what he said. Is like, hey, it's not a guarantee, but we get 2 more opportunities. We double our opportunities per round, per first round for those years that they respectively got a first-round pick for, to try to get somebody that could turn out to be great. Obviously not a guarantee. You have to draft right. And he mentioned this, and it's a correct statement, and it tells you that Jerry Jones had the correct, mindset when he made the trade. He thought about it logically. The Dallas Cowboys receive a impactful starter right away. They don't have to wait to the next year's draft to get an impactful player at the position that they need. They fill a need right away because Dallas Cowboys definitely need an interior lineman. I believe that the last interior lineman they drafted in the first round was Najee Smith, and that hasn't really exactly worked out. But hey, this could be a year that Najee Smith perhaps breaks out. You can combine that. If you never know if Kenny Clark can have another stellar year. So that fills a immediate need, and it's not just a fill. And Kenny Clark is not just somebody that fills in a roster spot. He is an impactful player, borderline star. Like I said, he's made three Pro Bowls, and the plays definitely are there that he has made. He has made his handful of plays in the league. So I don't think it's a bad trade. I think it's a solid trade. Micah Parsons, while I understand the potential that he has, because Micah Parsons has Hall of Fame potential, right? Not just Pro Bowls. He has all pros, all decade teams potential, right? It's not there now, but he's definitely had his season, especially his rookie year, where he just dominated the league. So there's the name, the hype, the potential there. Some of the plays that Micah Parsons has already made as to why I can understand why people say this is a really bad trade. You don't trade people like Micah Parsons. Why I get why people say that. I get why Cowboys fans are upset, especially because when you have such a star like that, star like Micah Parsons, where the name also sells, and the players loved by the fans, and there's jerseys that are being sold with his name and stuff like that. People that can, what would you say, not just follow the team but also follow the star. That is Micah Parsons is that caliber of player. So I get why people are saying from that perspective why it's bad, why the trade is bad, or why they're laughing at the Dallas Cowboys and why fans are upset with Jerry Jones. But I think when the emotion, as the days go by, the emotions will wear off. The year will start, and I think if Kenny Clark can show any sort of glimpse as to the type of player that he has been over the past years, especially if what would you say, Kenny Clark perhaps shows some glimpse of his Pro Bowl years, I think Dallas Cowboys fans will slowly but surely perhaps realize that this was not such a bad trade by Jerry Jones. Micah Parsons, I think I was getting to this, but I got off track a little bit. Michael Parsons, although he has made a lot of plays, has not necessarily been that impactful pass rusher over the past couple of years, especially last year. Now, as a Commanders fan, I'm glad he's gone. I'm going to say that straight up. Like, I'm glad he's out of division, because it always seems to be that he had his best games against the Redskins. And he would always get his, what would you say, he would stack up the stats against the Redskins. He would have like two sacks per game, or sometimes he would have a game with 3 sacks and a forced fumble and this and that. Like, he would just have, great games against the Redskins and wreck the game. So I'm glad that he's gone as a Redskins fan. But I think objectively, looking at the trade, it's a solid trade. I mean, like I said, Kenny Clark, I already mentioned what I think about him, and the 2 first-round picks. 2 first-round picks. That is a lot of value in the NFL nowadays. Even star players do not sometimes warrant first-round picks in a trade. So to get 2 plus Kenny Clark, I think it's a really good trade. I'm going to say it's a really good trade by the Dallas Cowboys. We'll see. I mean, time will tell, right? If Micah Parsons becomes that Myles Garrett type of player, then regardless of what Kenny Clark does, I guess people will never say that it's a good trade, but you never know what those 2 first-round picks are going to become. And obviously, we'll see what Kenny Clark does. But the Packers can look forward to a star. What would you say? A star that has the name come to the organization. Fans can automatically they're going to buy his jersey. Those are going to sell. You add a little bit more celebrity to the team, but also an impactful player on the edge on the defensive line that was also a need. So we'll see what happens. I think it's a solid trade. I think the Green Bay Packers are trying to make a push for the Super Bowl. I think they have a team now. And I don't see why not, especially with Jordan Love and the years that he's had. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, as a Redskins fan, I'm glad Micah Parsons gone. objectively, I think it's a solid trade. Kenny Clark is more than good, and I think people sleep on him. The 2 first-round picks, I think, were great pickups for the Cowboys. Micah Parsons. So I'm as far as Micah Parsons, I'm kind of in agreement with Skip Bayless, is that he had a hell of a rookie year, but over the last few years, that NFL has definitely figured him out, and his impact has been minimized, or has not been that impact. He has not been that impactful as we all thought he would be. Definitely, people have seen, the league has seen some weaknesses that they've exploited as far as the run game, but I think Micah Parsons can be that Myles Garrett type of player if he really commits to it. So, and then just lastly, I think just where the relationship had gone already with Jerry Jones, and some of the comments that Micah had made, and some of the comebacks that Jerry Jones had made at them at Micah Parsons' camp, I think it was just good to get it done here. Get the value here, return an impactful player right away that I can plug into my roster and hopefully make impactful plays with Kenny Clark, and then I get rid of that sour relationship that I was having with a player, and so Micah Parsons gets he gets a hell of a contract, and we'll see what happens. But I think it was a solid trade overall.